Dawn came quietly. Outside the townships, 10 men stood beside 3 empty wagons while the commander gave them their orders. They were not soldiers. They were craftsmen, fathers, neighbors, men who repaired pumps, inspected bridges, settled arguments in the market. But for 5 days they have been given another duty. Find the different. Physical variance, mental variance, hereditary conditions, and now, anyone who concealed them. Some of the men hesitated. The commander reminded them that the founders had done what survival required. Now, he said, survival required something from them. Do your duty. And the wagons rolled towards them and towards the town. From a tiny opening beneath the roof of his family's home, 18-year-old Jonah watched them come. Behind, hidden among blankets and winter clothing, was his younger sister, Jenny. One of her legs had developed differently. Her hands sometimes tightened beyond her control. To Jonah, she was simply Jenny. To the council, she was now something to be removed. The first morning, 7 families disappeared. By the second, nobody knew how many. By the third, people stopped asking where they were going. By the fourth, they stopped opening their doors. Then Jonah saw Caleb, his best friend, the boy who had grown up next door, the boy who had learned to swim beside him, gotten into trouble beside him, and knew exactly where Jenny was hiding. Civil enforcers dragged Caleb into the street. His father followed, pleading, "He's done nothing." Caleb resisted. They drove him to the ground. On the wet cobblestones, his father lunged towards him. "He's my son." Nobody answered. Caleb was pulled to his feet and taken toward the wagon. Then he looked up towards Jonah's attic. For 1 second, the 2 boys saw each other. Caleb knew Jenny was there, and still he said nothing. By the 5th day, the council no longer needed orders. They no longer needed physicians to find the difference. They had found something more efficient. Neighbors. Postings appeared across the township, on walls, on bridges, underneath lanterns. Report the different to civil enforcement. And people began remembering things. The child who never spoke, the man whose hands shook, the girl who walked differently, the family whose skin was darker than theirs. Things no one cared about a week before suddenly became reasons to whisper a name into an official's ear. That night, Jenny asked her brother the question he could not answer. "Why do they hate me?" Jonas told her they don't know her. Jenny looked at him. "They do." And she was right. They were the strangers. They were not strangers. They were the neighbors, the teachers, the shopkeepers. People who had watched Jenny grow up. They know me. Jonas took his sister's hand. Outside, another hammer struck another posting. Then they'd forgotten. Jenny asked him what they had forgotten. Jonah looked at her. "That you're Jenny." By the 6th morning, something fundamental had changed. People no longer merely watched. They pointed, they whispered, they reported. And the wagons kept moving. The founders had crossed an ocean because someone had decided they were the wrong kind of human being. Their descendants had been taught that story their entire lives. It took them 5 days to forget why the founders had run. Across the township, water wheels turned, canals flowed, workshops opened, and a caravan of families disappeared towards the inland horizon. They said they were protecting what the founders had built, but they weren't protecting it anymore. They were deciding who was allowed to belong in it.